the world, particularly in relation to education, but we feel like economic realities of migration limit that right as well. So we thought that it would be useful today to talk about the way women are the protagonists of organizing for change as the focus of this event. And we have a very, very exciting things to share in several regions of the world. We're going to hear from the U.S., Asia, a brief word from Latin America, and from Africa, from Senegal this morning. We want to start off with a very exciting victory that took place in New York State, where you are sitting, just this year, but a very long-term struggle by the Domestic Workers Union, who are going to share with us how they got legislation passed to defend domestic workers' rights. Can you join us?
Good afternoon. My name is Luna Ranjit. I'm the executive director of Adhikkar. We're a Nepali organization based here in New York City, and we are a member of the National Domestic Workers Alliance, and also part of the New York Coalition for the Rights for Domestic Workers that we actively participated in the New York Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, the historic first ever in United States, actually. And before I go into that, I wanted to give you a little bit of background about the National Domestic Workers Alliance and our work with them. National Domestic Workers Alliance was founded in 2007 at the first U.S. Social Forum in Atlanta. To organize domestic workers in the United States for respect, recognition, and labor standards, and trying to do that through leadership development, strategic campaigns, and alliance building to build a vibrant movement for social and global justice, not only for domestic workers, but justice for all. Now we have 33 affiliate organizations in 17 cities across the United States, and Adhikkar, that's part of, is a member here in New York City, along with Ciudadano Global that you'll hear from later. Adhikkar was started in 2005, and we're the only group in the United States that's organizing Nepali-speaking communities for social justice. Our membership base primarily consists of recent immigrants working in low-wage sectors and predominantly domestic workers and nail salon workers. According to a recent report that we completed, about 85% of our community came in the last decade. So it's a very, very new community as well. And Adhikkar was an active member in the New York State campaign for Domestic Workers Bill of Rights, which is one of the many accomplishments for the National Domestic Workers Alliance in the last 3 years. National Domestic Workers Alliance has created a national training institute to build to build the organizing capacity of domestic worker organizations and build a leadership platform for domestic workers themselves to come up and become the organizers and lead this movement. We've also had congressional hearings on immigration and women and how the current, especially around what was happening in Arizona, the anti-immigrant bill that was passed in Arizona, and the New York Bill of Rights, of course, but there's also California has passed a state resolution, and hopefully this year we'll also be able to celebrate a similar victory in California. The California State Domestic Workers Bill of Rights is in the works as well. We're also working at the national level regulation with the Department of Labor, and of course the ILO Convention. And we'll hear about the ILO Convention and cross-national work more from other partners as well. So I'd like to focus a little bit about what happened in New York and our road to success, I guess. It was not an easy one. It was more than 6 years ago the campaign started. It actually started before the organization I'm affiliated with now, Adhikkar, was started. The campaign was already started. It was started by Domestic Workers United, where it's not a union because according to U.S. laws, domestic workers and farm workers are not allowed to form a union. So that's something that we're fighting against and trying to fight for collective bargaining rights. So 6 years ago when the campaign started, people are saying, domestic who? There are domestic workers here. Some of the legislators like, yeah, we know about domestic violence and we support your issue. So it was really like trying to raise awareness about the issue, but we worked in a multi-ethnic coalition, in multilingual coalition, trying to organize meetings where different languages were spoken, and trying to really appreciate and understand the diversity of the membership of the community, and working also one of the things is prominent from early on was that it was led by domestic workers. Domestic workers were the face of this campaign. Domestic workers were leading the campaign, not here in Albany, in strategic decision making. And we went to multiple trips to Albany to meet with the lawmakers, and slowly over time the coalition became known for the yellow shirts. Like we were known for not the stepping back. And after 6+ years of campaigning, last year we were able to pass the Domestic Workers Bill of Rights in New York, becoming the first state in the United States to do that. And for that, it was not, it was a lot of, I would like to really emphasize, it was hard work. It was lots of like waking up really early in the morning to go to Albany. How many of you have gone for that? I see some of the familiar faces and the nodding. It was like sometimes going every month, going in the snow, going in the sun, really not stepping back. And also building strategic alliances. We worked not only with other domestic worker organizing. Of course, domestic worker organizing was at the forefront, but we also worked very closely with labor unions, especially 32BJ here locally was a strong partner all along. And the 32BJ, because they organize doormen, and doormen are the ones who know the comings and goings in every building. They know who is a good employer. They know when a domestic worker comes in. They know when a domestic worker goes home at night. And so they were really actively supported the campaign, and that also helped us. And and building on that, like now we're looking to we're able to think big. We're looking like at all levels, not just at the state level. We've had victory, and we want to replicate this around the country. This year it'll be California. Next year, 2012, we're hoping it will be Maryland. It's activities happening all around, and having a national platform at the National Domestic Workers Alliance is helping us share information with each other, learn from each other as well, and build a strong movement for the rights of domestic workers here in the United States, and also working for a global movement through the ILO convention, and I'd love to hear more about it from our other partner organizations who are working on it.